And then there was Windows: A Revolution Begins. In 1985, a little company called Microsoft introduced a groundbreaking product, Windows 1.0. Before Windows, personal computers were difficult to use. You had to type in arcane commands just to get the computer to do anything. Windows 1.0 changed all that by introducing a graphical user interface, or GUI. Instead of typing in commands, you could now use a mouse to point and click on icons and menus. This was revolutionary. Windows 1.0 wasn't perfect, but it showed the world what was possible. It was the first step in a long journey to make computers easier to use for everyone. The GUI gets real Windows 2.0 and 3.0. Microsoft continued to improve Windows, releasing Windows 2.0 in 1987 and Windows 3.0 in 1990. These versions added more features and made the GUI even easier to use. Windows 2.0 introduced overlapping windows, which allowed you to have multiple programs open at the same time. This was a big improvement over Windows 1.0, which could only display one window at a time. Windows 3.0 was a major upgrade. It featured a significantly improved GUI with support for more colors and higher resolution displays. It also included new features like Program Manager and File Manager, which made it easier to organize your programs and files. Windows 95, a paradigm shift. In 1995, Microsoft released Windows 95, which was a landmark release for the company and the entire computer industry. Windows 95 introduced the Start menu, the taskbar, and the Minimize, Maximize, and Close buttons that we still use today. Windows 95 was a huge success, selling over 40 million copies in its first year of release. It was so popular that people lined up outside of stores to buy it. With Windows 95, Microsoft cemented its position as the dominant player in the PC operating system market. It also ushered in a new era of computing, where computers were easier to use and more accessible to the average person. Section 4, the Internet Age and Beyond, Windows 98 Main and 2000. As the Internet exploded in popularity in the late 1990s, Microsoft released Windows 98, which integrated Internet Explorer directly into the operating system. This made it easier than ever for people to get online and surf the World Wide Web. Windows Me, released in 2000, was a short-lived version that was quickly overshadowed by the release of Windows 2000. Windows 2000 was a more stable and reliable operating system that was designed for both home and business users. These versions of Windows reflected the growing importance of the Internet in people's lives. They also showed how Microsoft was adapting its operating system to meet the needs of a changing world. Section 5, A New Millennium, A New Windows, XP and Vista. In 2001, Microsoft released Windows XP, which became one of the most popular versions of Windows ever. Windows XP was praised for its stability, reliability, and ease of use. It also introduced a number of new features, such as the Product Activation System, which was designed to reduce software piracy. Windows Vista, released in 2006, was a more ambitious release that introduced a number of new features, including a redesigned user interface, improved security features, and support for new hardware. However, Vista was also criticized for being slow and resource-intensive. Despite their differences, both Windows XP and Vista continued to evolve the Windows operating system, adding new features and improving upon existing ones. They also highlighted the challenges of balancing innovation with stability and performance. Section 6, Windows, Today and Tomorrow, 7, 8, 10, and 11. Microsoft bounced back with Windows 7 in 2009. It was faster, more stable, and more user-friendly than Vista. Windows 7 also introduced new features like the Aero Snap feature, which made it easier to manage open windows, and the Windows Touch feature, which allowed users to interact with their computers using touchscreens. Windows 8, released in 2012, was a radical departure for Microsoft. It featured a new, touch-friendly interface that was designed for tablets and touchscreen laptops. However, the new interface was confusing for many users, and Windows 8 was not as successful as Microsoft had hoped. Windows 10, released in 2015, was a return to form for Microsoft. It combined the best features of Windows 7 and Windows 8 with a familiar desktop interface and a more refined touch-friendly interface. Windows 10 also introduced a number of new features, including the Cortana voice assistant, the Microsoft Edge web browser, and the Windows Hello facial recognition system. Windows 11, the latest version of Windows, was released in 2021. It features a redesigned user interface with a centered start menu and taskbar, as well as new productivity features, gaming technologies, and security improvements. From its humble beginnings as a simple graphical user interface, Windows has evolved into a sophisticated operating system that powers billions of devices around the world. Each new version of Windows has brought new innovations and improvements, making computers more powerful, more versatile, and easier to use. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to get all new videos, and please don't forget to press the bell button. Thanks for watching and goodbye.